Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Happy Knitting Podcast. My name is Julia and I'm coming to you from Germany. Today is Sunday, the 11th of March 2018. I'm recording this podcast on a bit of a whim, and we just returned from a weekend trip to Salzburg. And it's not that late, but it is getting quite dark outside. So I'm going to try to record a relatively quick episode just to catch up with you guys. And also I'm recording on my new phone with a new camera, so that's going to be a bit of a test drive of that as well. I tested it before, it seems to be going quite okay, but if there are any difficulties in this podcast, I apologize in advance. We'll just have to see how it goes. So this is a knitting podcast. If you're watching for the very first time, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you'll enjoy this. And if you're coming back, thank you ever so much. You guys know how much I appreciate my regular viewers. So, how are you guys? I hope you've been doing some knitting and playing with yarn and everything is going well. Today I have quite a few things to show you, but I'm not going to show all of the whips that I currently have because I haven't managed to work on all of them. So very quickly, we have a Ravelry group on Ravelry called the Happy Knitting Podcast Group, and that is where you can find the knit-alongs and just lots of yarny threads. And currently we have one knit-along, which is the Hearts and Heels knit-along for Valentine's themed socks, which is wrapping up on March 15th or ends on March 14th, but I will draw prizes on March 15th. So get your finished objects in. All the details are in both of the threads in the group. Moving on from that, I have one finished object to show you guys this week. I'm so happy to have these socks finally off the needles. And these are the ones that I'm talking about. These are my Hermione's Everyday Socks, which is a free pattern by Erika Lüder. It's a textured sock pattern that I've knit a couple of times. And the yarn that I used is from Viking Yarns, and the colorway is Precious Metal on their MCN base, which is of course merino, cashmere and nylon. Let's try to give you a close-up of the yarn. I didn't put these socks on sock blockers because I was running out of time, but I think the pattern and the yarn works out really well. I really like these. I'm going to keep those for myself, and I'm excited to have some more MCN socks in my sock stash. So these are done. This was my first time knitting with Viking Yarns, which I really did enjoy, so I can only recommend their yarn. I knit these and all of my other socks on 2.25 millimeter needles, US size 1. Oh, I almost messed that up. So those are done. I'm so happy they're done because I felt like I was knitting on these for ages because I kept on putting them down, but now they are all finished and I'm very excited about these. Also, the light and the colors seem to be coming out very blue today, which is partly because of the bad lighting and could also be a part of the new camera, so sorry about that. I'll see if I can fix that another time. Next up, I have brought out 3 whips because some of them I didn't work on, but the one that has definitely been getting the most love is this relatively huge sweater of mine, which is of course the Traister sweater by Jennifer Steingrass. This is a sweater pattern, like I said. It's called Traister or Traister, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. It is a top-down color work sweater, and I am knitting it out of Let Lopi yarn, which is a Norwegian yarn, and I'm getting a bit of a tangle here. But what you can see is, last time I showed this to you, I had knit about half of the body, but since I have actually knit 2 sleeves with a little bit of color work and a very long cuff, because I like long cuffs on my color work sweaters, and there are 2 of them. And I am almost finished with the body. I think I'm about ready to start the rib, which most likely I'm going to do in the red color as well. And then this thing will be done. And you guys, I'm so proud of this sweater. I don't know why. I've knit quite a few fingering weight color wax sweaters lately. And this is super thick yarn, but this just, it feels very sort of traditional Norwegian sweater-like to me. And somehow I just really like it. I've tried it on a couple of times and I really love the fit as well. I did do some waist shaping, just freestyle waist shaping, and yeah, I'm really happy with this. All other details about the yarn and so on are on my project page, so if you have any questions, just check it out. But yeah, very, very happy with this. And I mean, I could finish this tonight if I sat down and did it. And I can't wait to wear this thing. I'm probably finishing it just a little bit too late because it is getting warmer now, but I will get so much use out of this nevertheless. Those of you who know the pattern might realize that there is some part of the yoke missing, which is just because my gauge is ridiculously off. So I had to split for the sleeves a little bit earlier. So some of the colorwork yoke is missing at the bottom, but I think it looks just fine. So I'm very, very happy with that. So that is my big work in progress. I also have 2 new sock whips, which I haven't shown you guys. The first one I cast on just yesterday because, like I said, we were going on a weekend trip. So I decided to cast on some socks or just take some ready to knit with yarn that I didn't have to cast to cake up. So this yarn is a Knit Picks Felici in the Cheshire Grin colorway, which my lovely friend Grace ordered for me and then sent it to Germany. And I am just knitting some vanilla socks. So this is what I've done so far. I started on the train yesterday, so I did about, I think, 24 rows of ribbing or something. And then just a plain vanilla sock with a garter stitch Fish Lips Kiss heel, and now I'm onto the foot. And can you see that line there? You guys, this is why you should not drink and knit. We had a few drinks last night in a bar, and I thought it was a smart idea to knit a heel afterwards. And look at my color management. I have a bright turquoise stripe right in the middle of my stripes. But I don't really care that much. I just think it's funny because I'm usually quite good about these things, and this time I just completely messed it up. But nevertheless, I really like this yarn. I've talked about Felici a couple of times, and I feel like this time, or this particular ball, is a little bit better in terms of their stitch definition. It feels a little bit tighter in terms of the ply. And I'm really, really enjoying knitting with this. I'm also really enjoying the colors, so yeah. Not much else to say about a plain vanilla sock besides the fact that I really like it, and yeah, I love stripy socks. The other sock whip that you guys haven't seen is a pair of socks for Kai, because, you know, my lovely boyfriend Kai, who never has enough socks. So I cast on this yarn, and I finished the first sock, I just haven't woven in the ends. This is a pair of socks using yarn from Das Mondschaf, who is a German indie dyer. I will show you the tag if I find it. There it is, on her Pegasus base. And this colorway is called Alien, which of course is an amazing reference. So Kai is calling these socks his Ripley socks. I just did plain vanilla socks for him over 68 stitches because he has slightly bigger feet than I do. Again, Fish Lips Kiss heel with Mina's mini heel flap adjustment, Mina of the Knitting Expert. And what else can I say? I feel like the colors aren't showing up too well. It's quite bright green. It's coming across a bit more like yellow and brown. But anyways, the first sock is done. And on the train today, I have started the second sock, so I just need to knit a huge part of stockinette now, and then these socks will hopefully be done very soon as well. Kai is very excited about these, as he usually is about socks. He's so knit worthy, so I really do enjoy knitting for him. And I was on a big train journey on last Thursday as well for work, so I took these with me and finished it on the train, so that was quite nice to get quite a bit of knitting done. So that is it, you guys, in terms of my whips. I still have my Damiaka Lupa sweater on the needles, but I have not picked that up a single time. And I also have my Fruit Loop socks on the needles again. I have picked them up, but they don't look that much different. And because they're pattern socks and 2 at a time, they're a little bit hard to show, so I just will show them to you next time. So with that, we can move on straight to acquisitions. And I feel like this podcast is going to be like a 10-minute podcast, which is insane, but oh well. I guess it's better to have a 10-minute podcast than no podcast at all. Also, for me, it's like when I don't podcast for a week or two, things just pile up. And first of all, I don't have space for things to pile up because this is actually my desk where I work as well. And secondly, then the thought of podcasting becomes very overwhelming. So I have a few things that showed up in the mail this week. First of all, something showed up that I ordered and then completely forgot about thanks to work stress. So when I remembered that I had ordered it, I was quite excited again. So it's kind of like being excited twice. And the thing that I ordered is from Hedgerow Yarns, who is a UK-based dyer who I love. This is their card, Hedgerow Yarns. And first of all, if you haven't ordered from her before, you get the most lovely package. It comes up like wrapped up so beautifully. This package came with a lavender sachet, so everything smelled amazing. Also a little candle, which I presume is scented as well, but I haven't tried it. And then she was so lovely and sent me this, I don't want to say mini, it's a 30-gram skein, just for free, just to try. And this is her luxury alpaca 4-ply. 300 grams is 100 meters. It's 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. So you guys, you can imagine how crazy soft this is. This is beautiful yarn. Just look at the shine and oh my gosh, you guys. This is amazing. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it yet. Probably I'll put it into my blankets, but this is just stunning. So I love it. And this is a very, very generous mini skein to just give away with an order. And the thing that I actually ordered is, of course, another sock blank, because you guys know how much I love sock blanks. In fact, I love sock blanks so much that I think we should have a sock blank knit along. How do you guys feel about that? I've been thinking about this for a while, and just right the second I feel like we should do this. So for those of you who don't know what a sock blank is essentially like a knitted piece of fabric, knit out of sock yarn mostly. So it has been knitted usually by a machine, and then the dyer will dye it, and then you will knit from this blank. So you will unravel it and then knit it into socks or whatever you want to knit with it. And because it's just dyed after it's been knit already, just the color progression is very different to when you knit yarn from a skein. So there are lots of people who dye sock blanks now, and I really, really enjoy it. So I think we should have a knit along for sock blanks. I don't care if you knit socks out of your sock blank or if you knit a shawl or a sweater, I don't really care. And I think we should start it on March 15th. I'm deciding this all very, very randomly, by the way. But let's start it on March 15th and run it for 2 months. And you can use any sock blank from any dyer. You can dye your own sock blank, I don't really care. If I have time, I will open up a thread where maybe we can share some places to get sock blanks. I know that lots of sock blanks can be quite pricey, so I'm happy to share some German indie dyers who I think have very reasonably priced sock blanks as well. And I hope you guys are excited about this idea. Maybe you have knit with a sock blank before, so this could be a new technique for you. Or maybe you already have and you really enjoy it, and then you can just join in. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. I will probably just open a Ravelry thread and then we can discuss all details there. So anyways, now I have gotten completely sidetracked. This sock blank, as you can see, is absolutely beautiful. It was on sale. I don't know why, because it's absolutely perfect. This is the first time that I got a sock blank from Hedgerow Yarns in her Stellina base. So it's sparkly. It says 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% silver Stellina. And I don't think it has a colorway name, but it doesn't matter because it's beautiful. So that is my acquisition from Hedgerow Yarns. And also I have a really, really lovely acquisition that I was sent to try. And this yarn, I have to get organized first so I can tell you about it. But this yarn is from Daniel, who is a German yarn producer, and they produce merino yarn that is made from German sheep, which is really lovely. You guys know how much I love rustic yarns and how much I do love German yarns. So when Daniel approached me and asked me if he could send me some skeins, I got really, really excited, and the rest went very, very quickly. So let me see, I don't have a card, but I will try to link everything underneath the video. So the shop is called Große Wolle, and they currently only ship to Germany and Austria, so I'm really sorry for those of you who are not in those places. But this is where they ship at the moment, and their yarn shop is all in German as well. I will say that. But what they offer is really, really, really great. So I will show you the yarn last, but first of all I got some fun merchandise, which I always love. So I got a pen, which also has their link, so that might be helpful for you guys. There you go. And I got some post-it notes, and Daniel also sent me some lovely tea. This is a black tea spice masala chai, and I love chai tea, so this is amazing. And then of course there is the yarn. And you guys, they have a couple of different yarn weights, and they have different dye technique, and they also have some hand dyed. But I just got 2 skeins, and look at these woolly hanks, aren't they amazing? I got 2 different yarn weights. To be honest, I don't remember what I got anymore, but I think this one, I don't know. I know one of them is 215 meters per 100 grams, and one of them is slightly thicker, I think. No, one is 215 and one is 300 meters, but just go on the website and check it out yourself. And these 2 yarns are really, really, really lovely. They're very woolly, but I still would consider them soft. I think they would be perfect yarns for color work, for Nordic sweaters. I just love these. It's 100% German yarn. This one is just a natural colorway. Let's see if I can give you a close-up of the woolliness. Ooh, that worked quite nicely, didn't it? It is, I hope you can tell, it's just beautiful 2-ply German yarn. I think they also have a 3-ply, but all the yarn that I ordered was in 2-ply. And then this one you can see is marled. It's like a mix between a slightly pink and sort of like a beigey color, and the depth in this is amazing. I think this yarn would be great for cables, great for rustic knits, great for color work. Like the stitch definition for this should be fantastic. So Daniel sent me these to try, and I'm so excited about these. I'm kind of on the verge of already ordering some more. I'm planning to do some cozy hats or maybe mittens or something with these. And yeah, I'm going to test this yarn out and then tell you guys how I feel about it, of course. But so far I really like it, and Daniel is one of the nicest yarn dyers or sellers that I have dealt with as well. So thank you so much for sending me this yarn, and I'm very, very excited about this. So you guys, this is pretty much it for yarny content of this show. So I guess this will be a very short podcast, but this is perfect because A, I don't have much time, B, it is getting quite dark, and C, I'm trying to, of course, test out my camera, as I said. So if this does not come out perfectly, it's great because it'll just be a short test video. So for life in general, I've had a very busy week once again, which seems to be the theme at the moment. But it's been intense, but it's also been quite fun, so I'm not worried, and I do think that hopefully, I know I have a couple of busy weeks ahead, but then things might slow down a little bit, which would be nice as well. So on Thursday I had a big work trip which involved like 8 or 9 or 10 hours on the train, and of course I did quite a bit of work on the train, but I also managed to knit, which was quite nice, especially because it did mean that, I left the house at like 6 in the morning and got back at midnight, so at least I got some knitting time in between. And then I was on the train again because from Saturday to Sunday, so yesterday and today, Kai and I, we took a little weekend city trip to Salzburg, which is a city in Austria. It's only about 2 hours by train from Munich, which is great. And I had been there a couple of years ago, and Kai has never been. So for a couple of weeks ago, we just randomly decided to take a little trip and stay overnight and just enjoy ourselves, and that's exactly what we did. So I posted a couple of photos on Instagram. Maybe I'll have time to insert them into this video as well. We'll see. We took the train down yesterday morning, arrived around lunchtime, and we just had so much fun. If you don't know Salzburg, it's a very beautiful city. It's also not that huge, so you can just walk around. Oh my gosh, you guys, we did so much walking. Like my feet hurt, because I think yesterday we walked like 13 kilometers and today maybe half of that, but that was still a lot of walking for me. especially because my shoes didn't fit, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, we did visit one museum today. We visited the Museum of Modern Art, which was really interesting. I really enjoyed that. But besides that, we just really hung out. We had so much good Austrian food and Austrian coffee because that's just the best. I really love Austria and everything. We went to a really famous coffee shop called Caffè Tomaselli and had the most amazing cake. And it was quite lovely because it wasn't super warm, but it was maybe like 10 or 12 degrees, which it's been much colder lately. So everyone was sitting outside and hanging out, and it was just a really lovely atmosphere. And we also had a nice hotel. We went out for a couple of drinks last night, and yeah, it was just a very, very nice and fun trip. Of course, again, I did some train knitting, so probably most of the knitting that I showed you today was actually knit on trains, which is quite unusual for me, but that was quite fun as well. So now it is almost Sunday night again, and yeah, I have a bit of Monday blues, but that'll be fine. Also, Kai is on a work trip from tomorrow until Wednesday, and while of course I do miss him quite a lot, that usually means lots of knitting time for me because, I mean, I guess most of you have the same experience. When you're just by yourself, you just spend less time with like preparing food and stuff, and it's quite nice to have some single nights in, for me anyways, to do some knitting, catch up on podcasts, maybe rewatch Gilmore Girls for like the 4th or 5th time. Yeah, I might be doing that. Yeah. So I realize now I'm just rambling, so I'm just going to wrap this thing up. Please do let me know your thoughts about the sock blank knit along. I think that would be quite fun. If anyone has any fun name suggestions that are more creative than sock blank Cal or anything like that, please also drop me a message, drop me a comment, post it in the Ravelry group. I'm not very creative when it comes to those things. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think 2 months will be enough, if you need any additional information. And if you do know of like really nice sock blank dyers, nice resources, maybe to even get sock blanks to dye yourself, maybe just share them with us in the Ravelry group, and that way someone else might really enjoy that. Besides that, like I said, enter your finished objects into the Hearts and Heels Cal because I will draw prizes very, very soon. And I think that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching this podcast today. I hope you liked it. Have a great Sunday night and have a very successful, hopefully knitty and yarny week next week. I will see you next weekend. Have a good one. Bye!